After human remains were found in a Southcrest home, a San Diego man is facing new murder charges.
A morning fire near Camp Pendleton and Oceanside prompted evacuation warnings. We'll have more of the fire's size and containment efforts coming up.
It's day 14 of Larry Millete's murder trial, and today on the stand, a self-described spellcaster who says Larry contacted him dozens of times to try and keep Maya from leaving him.
World Cup fever is at an all-time high. We chat with the fans of the United States men's national team. A report from Irvine, California, coming up.
Feral cats have a mind of their own, and Blue, he just wants to be a dog.
Right now, it's a weather impact alert day across San Diego County. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Carlo Chiquetta. We're tracking multiple developing stories from a powerful ocean swell to a wildfire in North County. Let's start with Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis with the first look at your forecast.
That's right.
Yeah, we're definitely having some weather out there, especially along the coast, those waves.
Yeah, the waves have definitely been the bigger talker. And when we take a look at conditions, talking about that fire in Camp Pendleton and Oceanside area, we have seen improvements when it's come to our conditions out there. So some calmer winds and some higher humidity, and we're starting to see the cloud cover also rolling in. So 72 degrees right now for Oceanside. You also have some gusts only at 7 miles per hour. Earlier we did have it in the teens. Things have calmed down since then, so not really a huge factor. And because of the direction the winds have been coming from throughout much of the week, we have had high humidity out there. So we definitely have the dry brush, but as far as the air is concerned, it has been higher with those values because it's been more of a westerly flow, bringing in those high humidity values, some calmer winds into tonight. And as mentioned, we have that big surf to talk about. So all those details are coming up in your complete forecast. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carlene. Let's turn now to that North County wildfire that exploded in size this afternoon. It triggered evacuations at Camp Pendleton and the nearby Oceanside community.
Crews are building containment on that fire, which burned more than 500 acres. Our Alex Cheney joins us live with more. Alex.
Yeah, Carlo, it's quite a scare for the neighborhood here as that fire just absolutely started roaring this morning, starting about 10 a.m. and it carried through the afternoon. We are just near the fire line here, and actually within the last few minutes or so, some of the firemen are coming off the line here. They've moved about 6 trucks or so to our position as those crews stopped the forward progress on this fire earlier today. Here's more. Another day of fire in San Diego, this time in the dry vegetation of North County. The November fire exploded in size from 75 acres to about 560. Around 10 a.m. this morning, on base at Camp Pendleton, Marine firefighters responded to a vegetation fire near the Marine Memorial Golf Course. Both the base course and the nearby Oceanside Memorial Golf Course were evacuated. One man we spoke to was playing golf when he got the warning to evacuate.
We were out playing golf at the Oceanside Municipal Golf Course, and they came to us. We were about 14 holes in, and they came and said, we're being evacuated because of the fire, and we could see the fire over the ridge. We couldn't quite see the flames, and I came home, and sure enough, you could see the flames over the ridge, and it was kind of moving. Luckily, I think we have a south wind today, so it's kind of pushing it north onto Camp Pendleton.
Several of the surrounding neighborhoods also were put under evacuation warnings. The fire crept close to these houses as one girl described the flames.
You could see the flames from my backyard.
Really?
Yes, it was insane. I was like, oh my God. Earlier I went to go get gas, and I went over there by the water point, and it was crazy. You could see the flames. It was already coming over the hill. Stayed there for 20 minutes, and it spread crazy in that short amount of time.
Around 3:30 this afternoon, the Oceanside Fire Department said forward progress was stopped. The fire department went on to say that no one was injured, no structures were damaged, and all of those evacuation warnings have now been lifted. Reporting live, I'm Alex Cheney. Back over to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. Our other top story tonight, a 74-year-old man in custody for one South Bay murder is cracking open 3 other cold case murders that have haunted investigators for decades.
Dwight Roan pleaded not guilty to the charges connected to killings that date back as far as 1993. Our Steffi Roche joins us live to walk us through these new charges. Steffi.
Well, these new charges include a special circumstances allegation of committing multiple murders. And this means that if convicted, Roan faces the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, Roan was initially arrested and charged with murder for allegedly shooting a 54-year-old Bernardo Moreno on I-5, then setting Moreno's body on fire in October of 2023. While that case was pending, Roan was named a person of interest last year in an investigation into human remains found in December on a South Crest property he was previously a tenant at. The San Diego County District Attorney's Office said today that the person found dead at the Newton Avenue property here has been identified as Michael Brown. Brown's age and suspected cause of death have not been disclosed. The DA's office said Roan is now also tied to the December 1993 strangulation of a man who was found dead in South Crest and the September 2002 death of a man who was found dead in Logan Heights from blunt force trauma to the head. It is unclear what evidence investigators have found to link Roan to those other murders.
You know, some of these crimes are decades old. It's been a very long investigation, but our office is committed to, you know, justice and finding the truth, and however long that may take, and doing a thorough investigation. And as soon as we were able to support additional charges with evidence that we needed, we were able to file. And so we're really proud that we were able to put this all together and reach the point where we have.
Roan is currently in jail facing murder and attempted robbery charges from a 2023 incident in the South Bay. The district attorney's office also said Roan is being investigated in connection with additional deceased or missing people. Now, Roan currently remains in custody without bail, and following these new charges, he is not set to appear in court until March of 2027, so next year. For now, reporting live in South Crest, I'm Steffi Roche, News 8.
Thank you, Steffi. A full day of testimony on day 14 of Larry Millete's murder trial. Today on the stand, a spellcaster and two of Maya's friends.
News 8's Steve Price was in court today and breaks down the details.
An emotional afternoon in court, testifying one of Maya's friends who talked about the last time she saw her just weeks before she disappeared. She said that Maya told her through tears that she was scared to leave Larry because she thought Larry would hurt the kids just to hurt her. That's how the afternoon ended. It started with a spellcaster. His real name is Frank Peavy, a self-described spiritual practitioner. Today, he took the stand in Larry Millete's murder trial. This is file video because cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom. The reason for his testimony? This. Multiple communications he had with Larry on the freelance website Fiverr under his pseudonym Mystic Lunar, where Peavy offered his services as a spellcaster. He testified that he started communicating with Larry in October of 2020. Larry reaching out because his marriage was in trouble and he didn't want Maya to leave him. Peavy's exchanges covered everything from keeping other people away from Maya to making her physically attracted to Larry, but he warned the spells can take time to work. Peavy also testified that their interactions quickly turned obsessive, describing days when he'd received dozens of messages back to back in a single day from Larry, asking him to cast spells to make Maya love him again. Peavy called him manic, desperate, and obsessive. He also testified that Larry was eventually blocked from Fiverr. He presumes it's because Larry was also reaching out to other spellcasters and hounding them with requests for spells to the point where they reported his behavior. During cross-examination, Larry's defense attorney pushed back, getting Peavy to confirm Larry never asked Maya to disappear or be killed, and suggesting Peavy was simply stringing Larry along for money, even asking Larry to PayPal him once he was banned from Fiverr. Maya disappeared without a trace January 7, 2021, just days after she told family and friends that she planned to divorce Larry. The Chula Vista mother of three was last seen on a neighbor's surveillance camera and hasn't been seen since. Her body still has not been found. Chula Vista police arrested Larry Millete 9 months after Maya's disappearance. He's on trial charged with first-degree murder. Maya's friend will be back on the stand tomorrow. This trial still expected to go several months, and it still isn't clear if Larry will also testify. In Chula Vista, Steve Price, News 8.
All right, Steve, thank you. Now that we know the two candidates who will advance in November on the California race for governor, state leaders are reacting to the big question: can a Republican win a statewide office?
News 8 State Matters political reporter Jenny Hubb breaks down their answers.
Well, the looming question for months has been, will it be a Democrat on Democrat or a Democrat on Republican come November? Now that we have the answer, prominent state and national Democrats are also finally weighing into the race to succeed Gavin Newsom.
It kind of eases your mind, right, that it's official.
We're excited and ready to get to work.
The leaders of the California Republican and Democratic parties reacting to the November face-off between Democrat Javier Becerra and Republican Steve Hilton.
Very solution-minded, right? He's a policy man. We want to help get California back on track, and that we vow to represent them.
I think he's got the experience that we need at this particular moment. He connects with regular Californians all across our great state and has the opportunity to be our first Latino governor in a long, long time.
Hilton, former Fox News host and advisor to a former British Prime Minister, pitching himself as the change to end California's one-party rule. Becerra, former state attorney general and Health and Human Services secretary under President Joe Biden, pitching himself as the reliable candidate with government experience.
Hilton will be on the attack throughout most of the campaign, and he will attack the California Democrats for running the state into the ground. Becerra will turn everything around and make this election all about Trump.
That's the big question. Can a Republican, especially with Trump's endorsement in both the primary and general, win statewide office? Democratic voter registration outnumbers Republicans almost 2-1.
A huge built-in advantage for Becerra in California because there are so many Democrats and because quite frankly, President Trump is not liked much at all.
Becerra already using this card, responding, quote, all you need to know to Hilton's post thanking Trump.
I don't really think it matters. Whether he had the endorsement of President Trump or not, I think the Democrats' sort of go-to move is to align everybody with President Trump.
Ahead of the June primary, neither Becerra nor Hilton consolidated enough votes to be their respective state party nominees. Now they also have the support of their national committees. And for Becerra, once the underdog in the race is getting more notable endorsements, including Governor Newsom and Kamala Harris.
Are you glad Becerra stayed in the race?
And certainly where Javier Becerra was 3 and 4 months ago, significantly different than where he was 3 weeks ago. Being the right candidate at the right time and being in the right place.
And another primary reflection, billionaire Democrat Tom Steyer, who came in 3rd place. Experts say their takeaway is that money perhaps doesn't buy everything, as Steyer spent over $200 million, but will not be advancing. Jenny Hutt, News 8.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Okay, the San Diego County Fair is back.
This year's theme is Once Upon a Fair. And from the rides to the food to the animals to the gadgets, there's something for everyone to enjoy. The fair is open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday and runs through the July 5th. It's closed Mondays and Tuesdays. We have all the information you need to know, including details on parking and concerts, on our website, cbs8.com. And right now, we're giving you the chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets.
Just go to cbs8.com/contests to enter. 8 winners will be picked weekly through this Sunday, June 14th, so good luck.
Big waves are washing up along San Diego shores.
And they're dangerous. We'll show you what it's like along our coast coming up next.
Plus, the new drone video used to help arrest an arson suspect in San Diego.